Hey, I have something tough to say, and you're probably not gonna like it. Did you cringe when I said that? If you did, you probably don't receive criticism very well. And I don't blame you, it can be really tough. But here are some things that can help. The thing is, criticism can be an integral part of success. Being able to recognize when you may be wrong is a first step to going forward and being successful and trying a new path. If you want to learn how to take criticism with grace, keep listening. Number one, consider the source. Are you getting criticism from somebody that's always complaining, is always a negative person, and someone that you would never trade places with? Then it may not be worth considering. You can go ahead and toss that criticism aside. Or is it from somebody that you really do respect, they don't criticize a whole lot, and somebody that you would trade places with, that you really value their opinion? Then that's something that you might want to go ahead and take the time to consider. Number two, monitor your first reaction. Sometimes, especially when the criticism is harsh, we get that fight or flight response. So we might not react very appropriately or not in an effective way. So sometimes it's good to take that criticism, take a moment to pause, really think it through, and decide how do you want to go forward with that criticism. Number three, embrace the criticism and take a chance to learn. At the end, criticism is nothing more than a chance to learn a little bit more about yourself and what you would like to change in your life going forward. Try to be more curious and figure out what would you like to keep the same, and is there something else about that criticism that you can learn to change going forward for the better. Number four, ask more questions. So when you do have criticism, you don't have to stay silent necessarily. If you feel that the criticism might be confusing or you don't believe in it at all, but you really respect the source, go ahead and ask more specific questions, more detail. What exactly was it about your performance or what you've created that sparked that criticism? And that might help you develop an even more specific plan on how to improve that specific situation even more. Number five, request more time. So specifically, especially when you are getting criticism from a very important person, or it could even be your boss at your job or anything like that, don't be afraid to ask for more time so that you can really consider the source, consider what the criticism is, and consider if it's something that you really want to spend more time processing and put an action into place. Sometimes you don't have the whole picture. Specifically, if it's from somebody that you usually don't take criticism for, or maybe it's somebody that usually doesn't criticize in a specific way. Maybe they're just having a bad day. Maybe it's not something that you should put a lot of value in going forward with that criticism. Number seven, sometimes you want to take the time to thank your critic, especially if it's somebody that you really respect. Maybe you really appreciated what they had to share in that criticism. And definitely if it's somebody that you would like more feedback from, because they're going to be, if you thank them, they're going to be more open to sharing some thoughts and ideas with you, and they're really going to respect you for being open and accepting criticism. And number eight, if you do need to take some time to think about it and you're having a really hard time intaking it or using that criticism effectively, maybe this is the time that you kind of decompress with a friend. They can help you see a whole new perspective on it, or sometimes we just need to get it out of ourselves so that we can in turn then take a better look at it and decide if we're going to accept that criticism, or is it something that we no longer need to give value to. Here are some action steps that might help you in the future. Make a list of people that you would actually value criticism from. And then make a list of times when you did get some criticism and you did find it very helpful. That will help you attract the kind of criticism that you would find value in your life. It'll help you identify it better going forward so that you can skim through faster what is helpful criticism and what is criticism that doesn't have any value to you. And lastly, write the criticism down or keep a place where you do help strategize criticism that you hear either throughout the day or throughout the month. Writing it down can help slow your mind down so that you can process that information a little bit better and then help judge that information if it is going to be helpful, and if it is, what is your action plan going forward? If it's something that you decide is not helpful, it's not from a valuable source or a person, go ahead and cross that criticism off. Well, my friend, I hope that information helped. Criticism is a part of life. It doesn't always feel good. But we can help change that criticism by either crossing it out, getting it out of our mind if it's not valuable, it doesn't serve you to keep circling around that criticism, especially if it's making you feel bad and you can't act upon it in a positive way. And if it is something that we can react on, use it to your advantage to make your life even powerful and move on. I hope that you have a blessed day. Bye.